every week we're fishing a different lake. We're in a different state. Whether it's for fishing, whether it's for fishing, whether it's for fun, for practice, we're always pond hopping somewhere.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your fearless host, Angie Scott.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. If this is your first time discovering the show, I'm so glad you found it. As I mentioned on last week's episode, I was hoping to have a conversation with Kayla Jocumsen, but we had to delay the recording an extra day until she and Carl were in a more connected part of the country, so we didn't have to deal with cutting in and out. So I caught them on day 2 of their long trek back from Idaho to East Tennessee. As you're going to see in our conversation, they're definitely not strangers to life on the road. I hope you enjoy. You're driving back to East Tennessee from Idaho, day 2, right?
Yep, day 2. We started at 36 hours, and we have 10 hours and 20 minutes to go.
Nice.
And I am punching the time clock, putting my tank in right now.
There you go. And you're not that far from me. You're just outside of Chattanooga, which is awesome. So we'll have to get together sometime now that we know we're so close.
Yes, definitely. That'd be fun.
So while you're up in Idaho, I saw something really exciting on your social media that you actually landed your personal best bass while you're up there.
I did. I caught my PB. It was 7.5, and I caught it on my home lake, which is pretty cool. Also, I caught it on a bait that Carl got to design with Molix. It's Molix glide bait, like a 7-inch glide bait, and it is the best time to fish.
Awesome. I've heard a lot of really good things about glide baits lately.
They're so intriguing to me. I'll get a little bit bored if I'm just drop shotting or, something like that. I actually like working it and watching it, and even the whole visual of watching the fish come up, that's my favorite.
Yeah. What was it like when that thing hit it?
Oh my gosh, I was freaking out. We didn't get GoPro footage of that one. Yeah, it was amazing. I watched the whole thing. The water is so clear. It was about 30 feet, and I watched the fish come up and eat it and everything. It was awesome.
Nice. And then what was the situation I saw where Carl was trying to dive down to a log?
Yeah. So we went fishing with my parents. We took them to Ponderay, and that's another big mountain lake. It's super beautiful, and you can, again, see like 30 feet to the bottom. We were catching big smallmouth out there, and I hooked one, and I started reeling it in, and it felt pretty big. So I was real excited, and I could see it, and it looked huge, and then I could also see a couple other smallmouth with it that had to be at least 3 pounds, these other ones swimming around it. So I was real excited, and I had about halfway up, and it just took off to the bottom and went right under a log, didn't even give me a chance, and it just bunkered down there. So Carl thought maybe he could swim down to the bottom and flush it out. So he tried. He can open his eyes underwater, so he went down and just grabbed the line and kept trying to dive down to see if he could do it. And he said he could see it in there, he just couldn't get it out. But it was a solid effort.
Nice.
Hey, that's love.
Yeah, that's what I saw you put. That's true love.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, it was awesome that you could at least see what it was, because that's the worst. To me, that's the worst feeling, when you know you've got something big on and you end up losing it before you can actually see what it was.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's
always the biggest if you lose it, too.
Yep, definitely.
The biggest one you ever seen.
And nothing like smallmouth too. I mean, they fight so hard. So even though the smaller smallmouth fight like big fish, so I can imagine what it feels like to get a real big one on the line.
Yes. They're so much fun.
Awesome. So you grew up in Idaho, along with your cousin who happens to be Brandon Palaniuk, but it sounds like adventure and camping and fishing were pretty much ingrained in your life from the get-go.
They were, yeah. Our family's very outdoorsy. We camped all the time, fished, hiked, anything just to keep us all outside. That's my happy place. If I'm outside, I'm good. I don't even have to be doing anything as long as I can just be outside.
I hear ya. Well, you definitely grew up in the perfect part of the country for that.
Yes, I didn't do, being young and living there, I didn't, you don't really know what you have, and I didn't do a ton of exploring, so now being older and visiting, we always have a few things we have to check off our bucket list, because there is so much to do and see up in that area.
Yeah, now you get you've had the opportunity to travel all around. I saw on the Mustang Survival site, which you're one of their brand ambassadors, and that's actually how I found out about you, because I had Vanessa Fors from Mustang on the show a few weeks ago, and their PR person highly recommended I get in contact with you. But I saw on their website it says that you visited 47 states in America before the age of 26, and that you fished in over 100 different lakes. That's pretty impressive.
Yes. So the reason I got all those opportunities is my husband fishes on the Bassmaster Elite Series, and we get to travel for work. So every week we're fishing a different lake. We're in a different state. There's, whether it's for fishing, whether it's for fishing, whether it's for fun, for practice, we're always pond hopping somewhere.
Nice. And well, I was really excited to see too that like for 4 years you guys lived out of a truck camper.
Yes. Yes, we have a Lance truck camper. We partnered up with them about 4 years ago. And after we got that, we had kind of a small home base in Dallas with a friend. We kind of just lived out of his garage for a little while, but the amount of driving we were doing, the camper just saved us, because we were constantly going back from the East Coast back to Texas. And so we decided that we were just going to live in it. And we did for about 4 years. And we really, really enjoyed it. It puts a lot of stuff in perspective. It definitely shows you what you actually need, narrows down your essentials, and it was a really cool experience.
Yeah. Well, so I'm kind of in a position where I'm looking to get a travel trailer, so probably a little bigger than a truck camper, but and I'm kind of at that point in my life where I'm really trying to simplify and kind of minimalize. Yeah. And my goal is to be able to go down to Florida over the winter months, because I'm from Minnesota originally, actually, and I've had enough cold and snow in my 21 years that I lived up there. So I'm all about avoiding winter and just going down to Florida for a couple months. So I won't be quite living in it full time, but I'm not too far off. Yeah, exactly. But I'm on a houseboat now, so it's not. I mean, houseboat's pretty big. I mean, it'll be slimming down a little bit on the travel trailer. But do you have any?
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun living on a houseboat, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But do you have any like tips on that kind of lifestyle? Like any like essential gear or something that you found that just like made all the difference in the world?
Yes, essentials for camping. Clothes that don't wrinkle. Definitely spandex. Gosh, I feel like I got rid of like everything, really. We just moved to fishing gear and food.
Yeah, so just paring down to the bare minimum essentials.
Yes,
of what you need.
figuring out what you need that's essential, because as people, especially going from maybe having a bigger house or a full-size house to downgrading into something as small as a camper, you will definitely get rid of a lot of stuff and just make space for what you actually need. And you'll be very shocked and surprised at what you actually need to survive and still live comfortably.
Mm-hmm. What about with the dog?
Brew, Rue loves the camper. That is her home. It was her first home, and I mean, she's very protective of it.
So, what's it been like now being out in East Tennessee?
Yeah, she's never even got to do like property or have land. I guess neither have I. But now that she has a place to stretch her paws, she's more than happy. It's hard to get her back in the truck when we're leaving.
Oh.
She just wants to stay. But yeah, and having the home for us as well. We love the camper life and living like that. But when you do get to stretch your legs a little bit and have a little bit of stability and put some roots somewhere just as a family, that was super nice for us to experience, and it was great.
Yeah, so it's nice to have a little bit of both, I guess. Kind of change it up back and forth a little bit. So anything exciting coming up for you that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we're actually about to get back into the busiest part of our season. So once we get home, we have a day and a half to unpack and pack the camper, and then we hit the road again. I think we have a 7-hour drive to our next tournament. And after that starts, we have, I think, 6 back-to-back tournaments after that. So we won't have a day off for about a month and a half.
Oh, wow.
That's exciting. We like to work. We like to be back in the swing of it. That's kind of where our routine is, and so we're really excited to get back into that. Awesome.
Where all are you going to be going? Just name a couple different stops.
So we have our next one will be on Lake Hartwell in South Carolina.
Nice.
And then after that, I believe it's Guntersville. Then we go to Guntersville, Alabama. After that, I think it's Chickamauga, which will be fun. That will be the first time that we have a tournament on our now home lake, and we actually get to stay in our house for that one, which is fun. We usually camp wherever we go.
Yeah.
And then back down to Santee Cooper in South Carolina, and then back down to Texas. Yes, then to Texas for Lake Fork. And then back to Alabama for one more on Lay Lake, I believe.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that would be fun. And before I let you go, talk a little bit about the Fear My Heart brand of apparel that you guys got going on.
Yeah. Okay. So Fear My Heart is Carl and his cousin's mantra. They came up with this slogan, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And they really just apply it to everything they've ever put their mind and hearts to. They're both incredibly hard workers. I've never met anyone like them. If you can outbeat them by talent, you'll never outbeat them by work and heart. Like, they are just always getting after it. So we wanted to share that with people and not just apply it to what we're doing, but show, everybody has a situation where Fear My Heart would, apply, whether you're fighting cancer, whether you are trying to become the best athlete, whether you're, going for, a new job promotion, whatever it is, if you're working hard and you have some passion for this and dedication, that can absolutely apply to your life. So we kind of turned it into a little bit of an apparel brand. It's very new. I kind of took it on a bit myself, making some of the designs and all that kind of stuff. So we're just starting out, but it's really fun. We're enjoying it, and so far people are really liking the stuff. And yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll put a link to that in the show notes for this episode too. I think that's, super inspirational. The heart to me is so much more powerful than the mind is.
Absolutely.
So if you've got a big heart and passion for something, there's a lot that you can accomplish. So,
Absolutely.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for taking a little bit of time to be on the show. And
thanks for having me.
I'll put link to your Instagram, any other social outlets that people should follow you at.
Instagram, Facebook, those are the two I got. Thank you so much. I appreciate you thinking of me.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up sometime in East Tennessee.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, stay in touch.
You, me, and Christine could go out fishing sometime. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely, that would be so fun.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed meeting Kayla. And if you like the show, if you're enjoying what you hear, please take a moment to leave a rating and review on whatever your favorite podcast platform is. That really helps the show. I appreciate you being here and all your support. And I hope to see you next week. Thanks.